Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening to everyone. So today we have an interview with us to answer questions regarding the influence of stereotype towards DEC 6 final year students. So can you please introduce yourself a bit?
Hi, hello, Assalamualaikum. So my name is Hamzah bin Zoe. I'm a semester 6 DEC student of KPMSI.
Okay, thank you Hamza for being with us today. So let's start our interview with the first question. Mob or herd mentality is a tendency of people to be influenced by their peers, causing them to act in similar ways with the people around them. How much has your peers' view towards a certain group or person influenced your own judgment when it comes to your social life?
Okay, so for this question, I think it mostly focuses on how my maybe friends and peers influence me towards my judgment towards another group in my social life. So I feel like they actually play a very big role in my judgment towards another group or people because they're called peer pressure for a reason. So when we're surrounded by those many people, like for example, sees group A as a very loud group, so we tend to be in that circle of thinking they are that way. So yes, my peers' views has affected me a lot towards the judgment, towards stereotyping other people or groups.
I see. So let's move on to our second question, which is stereotypes exist in general as a way to categorize people and information that are linked to them. So, do you think stereotypes serve as an essential tool in English communication? And how accurate are those stereotypes in portraying people from various backgrounds?
Okay, so there's two questions here. So I'll answer. I don't think that stereotypes actually serve as an essential tool in English communication, but I would say that it's an essential tool generally in communication, because stereotype has no barriers in language. So stereotypes happens in various types of languages. So I feel like it is an essential tool, but not only focused towards English. The next question is how accurate the stereotypes are in portraying people. Most of the time, it's not really that accurate. I mean, stereotypes are usually formed from, I would say, rumors or other people's train of thoughts and not actually based on facts as a whole. So, no, I would not say that stereotypes are actually accurate in portraying how people are generally.
Yes, I see your point. How stereotypes can be inaccurate actually in our ways of thinking about people. So the third question is: in today's internet age, everything moves faster than before. Do you think that people are becoming less capable of forming their own personalities due to exposure of social media?
Yes, I feel like now people are forming their personalities based on what they see and not based on what they would like themselves to be. Because through social media, the world has set a certain level of what's the word? A certain level of acceptance towards the society. So if your personality does not match the current society's needs, then you're not accepted by the society. So I don't think like people are actually trying to form their own personalities, but they're more towards forming what they see on social media and trying to follow and make something similar out of that.
Yes, I see your point. How people often imitate what they often see online, and that actually affects a lot of all of us. So, moving on to the fourth question: the usage of stereotypes in entertainment, such as television, dramas, movies, novels, and comics, has always been a constant sight. So, as much as it works for the entertainment industry, it is believed that it could also hurt social interactions among consumers themselves. So, what do you think of the overly saturated implementation of these stereotypes in the entertainment industry towards English language speakers such as ourselves?
I think the overly implementation of stereotypes in the entertainment industry towards English language speaker, it actually increases the idea that stereotyping is a normal matter, especially now focusing as an English language speaker. So with stereotyping being very saturated in the entertainment industry, which as we know is something that we are oftenly exposed of. Like we watch TV every day, we read books everywhere, anytime. So how it affects is I feel like um, as an English language speaker, you will tend to see stereotyping as something that is normalized, despite of whether it gives out positive effects or it gives out negative effects.
I see your point. So the next question is number 5. In today's age of the cyberspace, people can partake in many different movements that are happening across the globe. This causes the invasion of various foreign ideals to invade us and not click well with the locally existing ones. So how far could you tolerate foreign ideals that a person supports? And will this affect your views towards the people that associate themselves with?
To me personally, for the first part of the question, how far I would tolerate foreign ideals, that entirely depends on what foreign ideas are they, because foreign ideas is such a general term. I wouldn't say that I would accept every foreign ideals, but it's entirely on what kind of foreign ideas, how negative or positive it is, and yeah, it depends on that. And for the second part of the question is, will this affect my views towards the people they associate themselves with? I don't see a problem in supporting foreign ideals. Everybody has their own right in supporting and wanting to support whatever they want, because everybody has their own beliefs and understanding. So yes, in a way, as humans, we can't run away from judging and judgment and all that. So I would say it will affect my perspective towards that particular person if the foreign ideals is not really my forte. But generally, I would say that I would be able to accept that everybody has their own beliefs and their own support towards any foreign ideas.
I see. So you're supportive but have limitations that
Yes.
you're bound by. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's move on to the sixth question. So, how do you view the actions of your peers? It is widely believed that learning a language will cause someone to adopt their values like behavior, speech, and morals. Do you always agree with how your peers act or stand for?
um, no, I would say like I'm the type of person that usually have my own principle. I'm the type of person that if there's something wrong in what they believe or in what they say, so I wouldn't like just straight away say, okay, all right, since you're my friend, so it's acceptable for you to say something like that. No, I believe that although they are peers, also, although they are my friends, a circle of people that I'm always around, but in order to actually be in a good circle, you have to make sure that you yourself is good enough to be in that good circle. So if you can't, you're not able to stand by your principle when your peers are not having the right beliefs, not having the right speeches, or having the right behavior. So it doesn't make yourself good enough to be in that good circle.
It's nice to know that you have your own steadfast principles.
Yes.
So the next question is, due to ESL students' nature of studies, they tend to be overly exposed to Western media and consume them as entertainment. This might result in them subconsciously imitating what they hear in their speech, as it is often viewed as peak English fluency. So how does this affect your impression of one's characteristics and social behavior?
Um, I think this is somewhat similar to the question just now regarding the personality, because we're still in the scope of social media. Entertainment is also a form of social media. So I think that how it affects my impression towards one's characteristic and social behavior because of their exposure towards Western media. Not everything about Western is necessarily bad. We can get multiple good stuff out of it, but I think in terms of my impression, if you do something good, then you'll have a good impression. If you do something bad, then you automatically give out a bad impression. Yes.
That's nice to know. So the next question is number 8. Elitism tends to happen when social identities clash. What do you think about certain groups in our college that judge others due to difference of values and defiance against gender expected social behavior?
I feel like it's a very annoying attitude, to be honest, because generally in our college we would say there's a lot of groups and like sets of people, especially between different programs. We have DEC, the MK,
Yes.
the M. Sorry, what's the last one? The IB. So usually it's like we're completely different people. So just because we have our differences, so um, we are expected to behave like what they want. So, for example, I would say this is from what I think. Usually the one that will be in one together for one group, I would say it's maybe usually two courses. I wouldn't say the name because to avoid anything sensitive. But there will be this specific two courses. They always be together, and then they expect to have this third course to live up to their social behavior. So I don't think it's a very healthy thing, to be honest. At one point, it becomes toxic. So that's not something that should be normalized within our society.
I agree with you because we are just all students in KPM should
Yeah.
behave in a community, a well-behaved community. So the next question is the capability of conversing in English can heighten one's social standing in this country. Do you feel a sense of superiority when you use English in conversations? And have you used English as a clutch to elevate yourself to seem more well-educated or smarter?
For this question, I mean, if I say yes, there will be seem like I'm bragging, but I think like generally speaking, even if I don't feel that way myself, people would just see you as someone even more educated when you are able to speak English well. You are able to speak English fluently because just like the first statement, the capability of conversing in English can heighten one's social standing in the country. If you give a speech in English, you're automatically seen as someone very, very well educated compared to giving speech in Malay. Although Malay is our mother tongue, is our main language. So I do agree with this statement, but I feel like I do not take myself as someone more educated or more elevated. But I'm grateful that I have the capability to speak in English well.
Yes, I see your point. It's the society that sees you that way.
Yeah. It's society that puts it that way, so you can't really do much about it.
Okay. So the last but not least, how different do you feel when talking to a group or a person with a different background from you? Do you find it liberating to be able to talk to them despite social circumstances or differences in beliefs?
To me personally, I'm a type of person that easily accept other people's opinions and beliefs. So it wouldn't be much of liberating for me to talk with someone with different beliefs and different background from me. So that's on my side. Like if that person chooses to be like offensive and very, very defensive towards the points that he made and are not able to accept the things that I say, then I will repay back with the similar stuff. So if I were to begin, I would just be professional and just accept different beliefs and different backgrounds.
I see your open-minded self
Yes.
is naturally accepting of that. So thank you, Hamza, for answering all of our questions.
No
So
problem.
thank you for your time again. Thank you for your
Thank you.
insights. Okay, and that is all from us. Thank you.
All right.
Assalamualaikum and thank you to everyone for attending this meeting. First of all, I would like to thank Zahira for volunteering to be the subject of our interview and thank you. May I know a little bit of your background, Zahira?
Sure. I am Atirah. I am 20 years old and I am a student at College Faishal Standard.
Thank you. May we begin with the questions?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. For the first question, mob or herd mentality is a tendency of people to be influenced by their peers, causing them to act in similar ways with the people around them. How much has your peers' view towards a certain group or person influence your judgment when it comes to your social life?
Personally, I think that peers plays a huge role in influencing me because I used to go to a boarding school for 5 years, so they influenced me a lot. And we spend a lot of time with them. And at college too, we spend a lot of time with them. So I think they play a huge role in influencing me.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And moving on to the second question. Stereotypes exist in general as a way to categorize people and information that are linked to them. So, do you think stereotypes serve as an essential tools in English communication? How accurate are the stereotypes in portraying people from various backgrounds?
I don't think it's essential, but people stereotype us a lot. To be honest, I once to talk to this one guy. He said usually stereotypes are 70% right. I mean, it's not nice to generalize people, but it's like a precaution to us.
Mhm. Thank you for your answer again. And moving on to the third question. In today's internet age, everything moves at a much faster speed than before. Do you think that people are becoming less capable of forming their own personalities due to exposure to social media?
I think yes, maybe if they don't have their own stance or they're so easy to be influenced with other people.
Okay, thank you. And moving on to the next question. The usage of stereotypes in entertainment, such as television dramas, movies, novels, and comics, has always become a constant sight. Though, as much as it works for the entertainment industry, it is believed that this could also hurt social interactions among consumers themselves. What do you think of the overly saturated implementation of stereotypes in the entertainment industry towards English language speakers?
I think the saturated implementation of stereotypes in entertainment industry towards English language speakers is it tends to kill Malaysians' confidence to speak in English because their fear of being judged.
Hmm. Okay, I see. Thank you again. And the final question before I pass it to Atirah. In today's age of cyberspace, people can partake in many different movements that are happening across the globe. This causes the invention of various foreign ideas that do not fit well with the locally existing values. How far could you tolerate foreign ideas that a person supports, and will this affect your views towards the people they associate themselves with?
I can tolerate foreign ideas by people that people support as long as they don't go against my religion as Muslim, my race as a Malay, and my country Malaysia.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to pass the interview session to Atira. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aliff. So, hi, Miss. So, I
Hi.
will continue another five questions. So, for the question number six, how do you view the action of your peers? Is it widely believed that learning a language will cause someone to adopt their values like behavior, speech, or morals? Do you always agree with how your peers act or stand for?
Uh, Again, it depends. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't, and it depends on whether it go against or not my religion, my race as a Malay, and my own country, Malaysia.
Okay, thank you. So for the next question, due to the ESL students' nature of study, they tend to be overly exposed to Western media and consume them as entertainment. They might result in them subconsciously imitating what they hear into their speech, as it is often viewed as the peak of English fluency. How does this affect your impression of one characteristic and social behavior?
Personally, I don't mind if someone wants to imitate a native speakers because, however, they need to know their limit. For instance, don't imitate every single thing that you do. Because some things are just against our religion. For example, like drinking alcohol, right? You can't do that because it's against our religion.
Yes, I agree with that. So moving on, elitism tends to happen when social identities clash. What do you think about certain groups in our college that judge others due to the difference of values and defense against general expected social behavior?
I think sorry, I think they're not matured enough because they have to realize that this world doesn't revolve around them. And people are brought up differently by their parents with different cultures and different exposures to religion. even though that you are in the same religion, you have different exposures. So it making us all different. You have to accept that.
Okay, thank you. So for the question number 9, the capability of conversing in English can heighten one's social standing in this country. Do you feel a sense of superiority when you use English in conversation? And have you used English as a crutch to elevate yourself to seem more well educated or smarter?
To be honest, somehow yes, because back in high school, I used to be one of the students who is really bad with science subjects. But the ability of me to speak in English, it makes me feel better. I don't know, maybe because of the stereotypes that happen around Malaysians, maybe because of that.
Yeah, I agree with you since I also experienced the same thing as you. So for the last question, how different do you feel when talking to a group or a person with a different background from you? Do you find it liberating to be able to talk to them despite the social circumstances or difference in belief?
Actually, seeing the difference that we get when we talk to people is very interesting and beautiful at the same time. Yes, I often feel the feeling of freedom whenever I talk to people who have different backgrounds from me.
Okay, thank you, Anis. That is all from our interview. 10 question. Also, thank you for agreeing in participating, for letting us interview you. Sorry for
Welcome.
using your time since you have a lot things to do. Thank you, Anis. Have a
Welcome.
good day.